President Uhuru Kenyatta support for the presidency in 2022? Will he choose his deputy William Ruto? Or will that person be his handshake partner, Raila Odinga? Or will it be Musalia Mudavadi? Or will it be Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka? Or do we expect a compromise candidate, say Gideon Moi or even Fred Matiang'i? Those are the questions which most Kenyans are asking. Because we know one thing for sure, that President Uhuru Kenyatta promised to support his deputy for the presidency. But the handshake changed the political equations in this country completely. Who will President Uhuru Kenyatta support in 2022?
Nimekuwa na maono ya kwamba hii kiti ya Raila ya opposition ameikalia kwa muda mrefu sana. Sasa ni wakati wa Bwana Ruto wa kuchukua hiyo kiti ya opposition. Na tunataka katika Kenya kuwa na opposition leader mwenye nguvu. Na hakuna mtu mwingine ambaye anaweza kuwa opposition mzuri kuliko Bwana Ruto ama DP wa nchi ya Kenya. Na tunataka kumuuliza asiruke daraja moja. Kila mtu ambaye amewahi kukua president Kenya in one way or the other amewahi kukua katika opposition. Kina Kibaki walikuwa opposition leader, Uhuru alikuwa opposition leader. Ruto tunataka kumuuliza asiruke hiyo daraja. Hata Moi alikuwa wakati mmoja vice president. Tufanye mfano mzuri. Joe Biden alikuwa mtu mvumilivu, mnyenyekevu chini ya Obama, na saa hii amechaguliwa kule Amerika. Tunataka kuuliza pia huyu DP na yeye akuwe mvumilivu, mnyenyekevu mpaka miaka 10 iishe, na hapo basi tutaweza kumlipa. Lakini pia hawezi kulipwa kabla ya kulipwa kwa baba. Baba ndiye alisema Kibaki tosha, akasaidia Wakikuyu tukapata hiyo kiti. Kwa hivyo hata kama Ruto anaona kama alisaidia Wakikuyu, baba ndiye alisaidia wa kwanza. Kwa hivyo tulipe baba kwanza, na halafu namba 2 tutalipa DP. Hatuna shida, lakini tunalipa, lakini asilipwe mbele ya yule mwingine. As long as Uhuru ameshikilia Raila, hiyo kiti Raila anaenda nayo.
Who will the president support in 2022? Today I want to explain to you and give you reasons why I strongly believe President Uhuru Kenyatta wants Raila Odinga to become the next president of the Republic of Kenya. And I want to be very clear on the choice of word. I'm talking of want, not endorse, and not choose and support. But before we go into all those details, if you're watching this video for the first time, I want you to just take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Now let's get back to the main issue. And I want to try to be very brief today. Why do I believe that President Uhuru Kenyatta actually wants Raila Odinga as the next president of the Republic of Kenya? I shared the clip earlier because that's the situation we are currently witnessing in central Kenya. There are those who previously were supporting President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy, and are today leaning towards Raila Odinga. There are tycoons who supported President Uhuru Kenyatta, and these tycoons are now leaning towards Raila Odinga. That's why I shared the clip up there. But why do I believe that President Uhuru Kenyatta actually wants Raila Odinga as the next president of the Republic of Kenya? He might not have his way, and he might have his way. But why do I believe so? I have 6 reasons. The first reason why I believe so is that there is this fear of revenge. We all know that the Deputy President William Ruto supported President Uhuru Kenyatta with all his heart in 2013 and again in 2017. In fact, in this country today, nobody would have imagined that we would even be talking of the possibility of President Uhuru Kenyatta supporting another candidate other than his deputy. But in politics, there's only constant thing, which is interest. Although my senior, Professor Mutai Ngunyi, also opined at one point that betrayal is also a constant in politics. I believe that in the last 3 years, the deputy president has been mistreated by allies of the president and even the president himself. And the deputy president has been very quiet. And because of those mistreatment, I am sure President Uhuru Kenyatta fear that if this man is handed over this presidency, he might decide to revenge. So those are the realities of politics the world over. So there's the fear that the deputy president might actually revenge once he gets the power. And that's a message which is being delivered. If you listen to the communications coming out from President Uhuru Kenyatta's allies from Central Kenya, that is likely to revenge on the president and his handlers. So that's number one. So because of that, I think the president would want to have Raila Odinga, a man who has nothing to lose. At his age, I don't think Raila Odinga would even attempt to revenge. So that's number two. I also believe that this pressure from President Uhuru Kenyatta's allies or the deep state to support Raila Odinga or to lock out the deputy president William Ruto from becoming the president of the Republic of Kenya. I want to ask you a very simple question today, and I really want your answer. Do you think, for example, someone like Karanja Kibicho or even Fredo Kengo Matiang'i would be free to support the deputy president William Ruto, assuming these guys are seated somewhere? Because the president has his key allies, people he listens to. We have Karanja Kibicho, we have Fred Matiang'i, we have Nancy Gitau, we have Rafael Tuju, we have David Murade. This group of gentlemen, do you think if they are meeting with President Uhuru Kenyatta, then Uhuru Kenyatta asks them to support the deputy president, do you think they'll easily say, yes, Mr. President, tunaenda kufuata hiyo? I don't think. So probably the pressure from these guys is what is causing the betrayal from President Uhuru Kenyatta to the deputy president. And because these guys don't see eye to eye with the deputy president, it now goes without saying that they also fear even for their jobs. And because of that, these guys would want to continue being influential in government. But that cannot happen if the deputy president is going to be the president of the Republic of Kenya in 2022. So these guys are actually putting pressure on President Uhuru Kenyatta not to support William Ruto. And they're also not very sure whether other options, Musalia Mudavadi, Gideon Moi, Kalonzo Musyoka, can actually defeat William Ruto. So they have no option. If they're not comfortable with Ruto, and then they are not sure whether Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi, Gideon Moi, and even Fred Matiang'i can defeat William Ruto. So they have no option than to support Raila Odinga. And because of the pressure from these guys, I strongly believe that probably Uhuru Kenyatta wants to support Raila Odinga for the presidency in 2022. My third reason, number 3, is the leadership abilities of President Ruto, of the Deputy President William Ruto, and Raila Odinga. Let's face the reality. President Uhuru Kenyatta has been the president of the Republic of Kenya now for 8 good years. Before that, President Uhuru Kenyatta worked with William Ruto in Kanu. He also worked with Raila Odinga in government during Kibaki's time when Raila was the prime minister, Uhuru Kenyatta was the deputy prime minister. So he's worked with these guys. So Uhuru Kenyatta, in his own wisdom and as the president of the Republic of Kenya, has figured out between these two gentlemen who has the ability, the leadership ability, to move the country forward. So in his own wisdom, the president has figured out that given these two choices, Raila Odinga's presidency is the best for the country based on their leadership abilities. So in this case, the president is actually using his own discretion to decide who should continue from where he's going to leave the country. I don't think the president would be mad to just decide from nowhere not to support his deputy, a man who stood with him. Today in this country, I really see people claim, for example, that Raila Odinga anachezwa, Uhuru Kenyatta wants to appeal. There's nothing which Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto needed from Raila Odinga for William Ruto to become the president. William Ruto only needed the entire central Kenya support, that block, the entire Mount Kenya region block, the way Uhuru Kenyatta got it. So once he's assured of that with the president backing, then the deputy president was now going to compete with Raila Odinga in Western and at the coast, and even in Nyanza places like Kisii and Kuria. Then add the system. I don't think it was going to be a problem. William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta didn't need to play any games. So just get it from me that Uhuru Kenyatta is basically not keen on William Ruto's presidency. And he's also aware that it will be difficult for the others to defeat this man. So he's banking on Raila Odinga because of their leadership abilities. Number 4, I think has also been contributed by William Ruto's insubordination. This guy is impatient. And that's why when Joe Biden was elected the president of the Republic of the president of the United States of America, Kenyans reminded him to be patient, to be loyal, because loyalty is rewarded. The deputy president, when President Uhuru Kenyatta entered the handshake with Raila Odinga, the deputy president overreacted. And instead of supporting his boss, he went on a charm offensive. The worst bit of it is that if you go to central Kenya today, members of parliament who are known to oppose the president, members of parliament who the president cannot even share a table with, are his key allies. And he also went to central Kenya to prove a point, to outshine President Uhuru Kenyatta. So I think the deputy president was impatient enough. And because of that, the president then decided, okay, vile naona huyu jamaa, wewe unaenda. And the president captured this clearly. Recently, during the bombers of Kenya, during the launch of Building Bridges Initiative report at the bombers of Kenya, where the president used that relay analogy. So the point is, the deputy president has been impatient, and the president, therefore, is not keen on supporting him. Number 5, which is of importance, is business interest. Let's face it, leadership is about interest. And the people who support some of these leaders are keen on their business interest. a story is told that the main reason why Raila Odinga was not allowed to become the president in 2007 was because there are cartels in this country who feared that if Raila Odinga took over the presidency, they were going to lose business. Most of these guys are actually people who do business, big tenders, mega tenders with the government, the Kikuyu tycoons. So when President Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto got into government, William Ruto's hands were dipped in each and every sector of the economy, including the energy sector, including the telecommunications. Port of Mombasa was under the Deputy President, Kenya Power, Kenyan, all those. In fact, someone was telling me that he did it to an extent that today, and I want to challenge anybody, anywhere where we have energy, Kenya Power, Kenyan, wherever they are, their stations, the procurement guy and human resource are actually Kalenjins. So they managed to kick out people who are doing businesses in some of those departments. I'm told the Deputy President even ventured into energy sector and competed for business with the families. So he ventured into business areas and even competed with people he ought not to have competed with in business. And because of that, he has a problem. These guys are not going to allow him to become the president. They fear that if now he's just a deputy president and is behaving like this, what will happen if he becomes the president? Remember, President Uhuru Kenyatta became the president of the Republic of Kenya because of the Kikuyu tycoons. These tycoons today are leaning towards Raila Amolo Odinga. Most of them. Talk of the Equity chairman, Munga, talk of Evan Gakuyo, talk of most of them, especially the most of them. And lastly, number six, is historical mistakes. And I've repeated this severally. And let's not confuse things. Mr Kenyatta and Jaramogi were very good friends. And then they differed politically. Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga have been enemies, politically speaking. But I don't think at personal level or at family levels, these guys are enemies. And I like using the case of a tragedy which befell the Odingas. When Fidel Odinga died, and that was the peak of the differences between these guys. When Fidel died, remember before Fidel died, Otieno Kajwang had died in Homa Bay. President Uhuru Kenyatta and the entire Jubilee Brigade could not even dare attend his funeral. They really wanted to. But the atmosphere was so charged that they could not. But when Fidel died a few months later, they came. The president assigned military chopper to carry the body of Fidel to Bondo. He went to Raila Odinga's home and stayed with the family. Not once, not twice, severally. The president participated. And although there were tension, he didn't attend the funeral, but he sent his minister. Rachel Mama, I remember because I was there. And from that point, I realized that this deep relationship between these families. And I was telling you in a previous video earlier today, that I met a gentleman who told me, some old guy is 72, 76. He told me he witnessed so many things between Jaramogi and Odinga. Because he was actually mtu wa mkono wa Jaramogi. He witnessed severally Jaramogi shopping for the Kenyattas. Let me know your thoughts on this. But because of those reasons, and I'm choosing my words carefully, Uhuru Kenyatta wants Raila Odinga to be the next president of the Republic of Kenya. And the Building Bridges Initiative process is just one of the avenues he's pursuing to realize the dream. Because already, and I think I should do a video on this, the signature collection is going to be launched officially on Monday. So which means the Deputy President, his allies, and what they are calling amendments are not going to be allowed into the Building Bridges Initiative document. So they're being locked out. Let me hear your thoughts, whether you agree with me or not. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day. And it's Friday. Bye-bye.